What's going on, Panther Nation? We here. I've had a little time to kind of, think about this loss before we head into it. Let me know if everything looks good, everything sounds good. I want to make sure everything on y'all side looks and sounds good for me. My bad for taking for forever, man. Um, I wish I was on here quicker, but we're here. Let me know if everything looks good, sounds good for y'all. Um, Before we get started, what's up, Bamos? How y'all feeling about the loss? Yeah, we have a lot of stuff to go over in this video, man. Have a lot of stuff to go over in this stream. But let me know if everything sounds good. Mic is all good. Let me make sure. What's up, Evan? My bad for taking so long. We here. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Caleb? He said, "Hey, I can't really hear our Texas Roadhouse waiting. What happened? Why Panthers Twitter mad at Bryce?" We're gonna go into all that. All right, we have a lot to discuss in this stream. That's for sure. That's for sure. Again, I've had a little bit of time to kind of sit on this loss. About an hour and a half, which is not good because I can come out here and just rage, after losing like that. Coming on stream right away, it's good in that sense, to kind of touch on the loss and everything. But Bambo said, "You're only 2 minutes late." Nah, man, I'm like an hour late. I kept pushing it back. Like I should have started. I initially had the stream starting at like, I don't even remember, like 4:15, something like that. And we pushed it back, all the way now to 5:30 because just stuff happens. But we here. We have a lot to talk about. That's for sure in this stream. Let me see 1 second. Got to get the lineup back up for y'all. I fell asleep after half. I mean, yeah, fair. I mean, the game was so bad. Yeah, I mean, I understand why you fell asleep after halftime. Trust me, I get it. Is the playoffs hopes done? After a loss like this, it's hard to, really fathom how we are still in the race for the playoffs, but we're not done. I mean, realistically, we're 5-5. We're not done. I feel like there's still work to be done with this team. It's weird because we're the Panthers, and every week it flips. 1 week, it seems like we're good this year, and the next, it's like we lose a game like this. It doesn't make any sense. Being a Panthers fan really doesn't make logical sense, especially in 2025. It's kind of like it just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. Like, how do you beat the best team in the NFC and then a week later lose to the worst team in the NFC? It doesn't make any sense. But the playoffs hope, in terms of playoff hopes, it's not done necessarily, if that makes sense. Because obviously we're 5-5. Would I say we're a playoff team right now? No. The quarterback situation is bad. The running back situation, I mean, I don't blame Rico today for what happened, because when you're the Saints and you put all your eggs in stopping Rico and Bryce can't do anything in the passing game, the results that happen today are going to continue to happen against the team like the 49ers, the Rams, the Seahawks, who are smacking the Cardinals today. It's going to happen. So in terms of playoffs hopes, they're not done. But the only way we get to the playoffs is if Bryce Young does not play like he did today. Right. And again, we can touch individually on players, and that's what we're going to do. But, today there's going to be a lot of talk about a bunch of stuff. Okay, there's debate on Twitter if this is Bryce Young's fault, Dave Canales' fault, whose fault is this loss on? It's on Bryce Young. Simple. Like, I've been, kind of a Bryce Young apologist all this time. This game, listen, we've proven as a team that we are good. All right. Like, we've proven that so far already this season on defense. Obviously, today was not great in the pass game, the run game, so we can't really say that. But all season long, we've proven that we are a good defense. We've proven on offense we can run the ball. If Bryce Young just throws the ball downfield, and again, watching the L22 is going to help me a little bit more kind of figure out were there pass calls that were vertical or was it all short passes, okay? But today on a 4th down and 2 to keep the game alive and you throw a check down to Chuba Hubbard, right? That's not going to help you win games. Simply. Okay. So for everybody, listen, I will be the first one to tell you guys I love Bryce Young and I want to be a franchise quarterback. I'm tired of this quarterback carousel. But with performances like today at quarterback, when we've proven this year we are a good team, and Dave Canales is not the problem. I don't care. I do not care. Dave Canales is the reason why the catalyst reason why we're in this situation right now to come in this game 5-4 because of his play calling, because of his decision making, personnel wise. And as Rivero too, we're not going to blame this defense. Okay. Yes, the defense gave up a lot of passing yards and plays that should not have happened, but they still only held the Saints to 17 points. The defense gave you opportunities to go out there as an offense and make plays and get this W, and you didn't do it. You didn't do it. This game is on Bryce Young simply, and I will say that firsthand. And I said that on Twitter during the game. I was like, I'm starting to get pissed off at Bryce Young because this is something that can't happen. Third-year quarterback all season long. But he only has one game over 200 yards this season, one game. Okay. Part of that is because you're not throwing the ball as much, but part of that is because he's limited as a quarterback, right? So the only way, to your question, Evan, is the playoffs hope's done? No. Obviously, we're 5-5. We're not out the playoffs yet. But if we want to get to the playoffs, and with this stretch coming up, he needs to play better, right? And I think we can all agree with that. What's up, Godfather? He said, is Bryce the problem or is it play calling? Today it was Bryce Young. Obviously, play calling is... When this season, when Dave Canales has not had bad play calling, this is what Dave Canales has been doing all season long, by the way. If the last couple weeks that we beat the Packers with this same game plan. Okay. Let's all kind of realize that before we point the blame at Dave Canales, we beat the Packers with this exact game plan. We beat the Packers by, yes, Jordan Love made plays, but the defense made enough plays to allow the offense to score 16 points and beat that team on the road. Okay. And there were not a lot of, Bryce had 102 passing yards last week, right? The same game plan was used this week against the Saints. And guess what? The Saints just figured out if we just stop Rico Dowdle and just really blitz, and load the box, make Bryce beat us, he can't do it. He can't do it. By the way, let me know if any point in this stream, while we're streaming, if there's a mic delay or it's lagging or whatever, I will try my best to figure it out because it's this room, but just let me know so I can fix it. What's up, Corbin? He said, I'm a Bryce Glazer and bro might be in Bryce even though he's not horrible. Yeah, man, I don't know. Like, I was the same way. I wanted Bryce Young coming out the draft, and for good reason. Bryce was he's the best quarterback Saban's ever had. Okay. If we want to go that route, why he was a better college, quarterback over CJ Stroud in 2023. But at this point, man, it's just he's not taking that step that you need to take in terms of if you want your quarterback to become playoff caliber. He doesn't even need to beat Jaden Daniels, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, players like that. He just needs to be, even Jordan Love level, even though Jordan Love is really top tier. Who's a good quarterback comparison that he needs to be like for us to be in contention every single season? He needs to be in the 8 to 10 range. I feel like he doesn't even need to be top 5 in the top 5 conversation. He doesn't need to be that, but he's not taking that step. He's consistently in the 20 range as quarterback. And this season, arguably with the stats wise, he's not even top 20 in the NFL at the quarterback position. So, yes, Bryce is not horrible, which is why he's still in the league in his third season. Most quarterbacks that are horrible are out by their second season. Okay. But he's not taking that step. And at this point, this team has proven this season. You guys can tell me all you want. Listen, I've just like you, right? I was a Bryce apologist. But this season, seeing that this team can actually play football, if you put a competent quarterback behind that offensive line and he can throw the ball downfield, this team can make a dangerous run and make the playoffs. Because the defense is decent. It's giving you opportunities to make plays and, go out there every single week, even though it might not be complete yet because there's a bunch of young players. His defense is still good. Okay. Derek Brown is a monster. JC had a bad game today. He's still one of the best players on this team. Trayvon Moore, another great game today. I mean, you have players on this team. It's just a bunch of young players on defense. That's one. Two, your running game. The reason why the Saints could stop the running game today because the quarterback could not make plays consistently, so they just kept sending at Chuba and Rico Dowdle. I could have been the Saints defensive coordinator today because of how bad they were calling plays. Like, let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be honest with each other. Bryce Young was the problem today. And I think we can all agree with that. Right. And I was the first one that, on Twitter today, if you guys are on Twitter, I think you guys might have seen my tweet that just basically said, I'm sorry, but Bryce is starting to piss me off. Right. Listen, I was a Bryce apologist telling you guys why he needs more time and everything. But at this point, this team has proven to be good. Okay. They've proven it. They've proven the talent's there to make a run. And they have the coach to do it as well. You guys can say, oh, it's Dave Canales' fault. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. What's up, Luke? He said again, this is Bryce's first really bad game of the season. Let's take it 1 week at a time. Maybe it was just a bad week. That is a good stance. Okay. That is a very good stance because at the end of the day, we have 7 games left. If Bryce comes out next week against the Falcons and lights it up, goes against the Niners in 2 weeks and wins, we're going to look at this game, be 7-5 and be like, oh, that was just a bad game. I do agree with that. At the same time, though, we have to realize, is Bryce really the reason why we win games, or is he just, a good piece, if that makes sense? Like, is he really the catalyst of why we win games? Or I don't know how to really explain it in a, good way. Besides, when we lose, is he the problem? Most likely. Okay, like if we lose against a team like the Saints, he's the reason why we probably lose that game. Okay, at this point with the team being decent. And then if we win, he makes plays. Like last week, he had 102 yards. Yes, that last drive was good. He made some good throws and everything, but he was not the reason why, we won that game. It was Rico Dowdle was a defense, making stops and everything. Like that's where Bryce is right now. He's a mid quarterback. Okay, and we need a game changer. At this point, I'm seeing enough talent on this team, and I'm seeing a coach that can actually, he has a brain for the first time in this franchise since Ron Rivera. I mean, we have to start discussing, like, maybe we give Dave and Dan their quarterback, right? It's nothing against Bryce Young. It's nothing against that, right? It's just Dave does not trust Bryce. Simple. He doesn't. He doesn't. He said, not even all on offense. Our corners were dog. We need to we need Asante Samuel. Yeah, Asante Samuel's not coming to us anymore. But yes. That first pass, he kind of locked up Chris Olave throw. Tyler Shuck, by the way, from the rookie quarterback. But that first, play from JC allowing that touchdown really wasn't on him. The second one, though, I mean, he just completely slipped and fell, let that wide open pass. He gave 2 big plays up today for sure. But again, the defense is not the problem. I don't really want to touch on the defense today because the defense gave up plays today. But guess what? We only held the Saints 17 points. Okay. They did their part in holding field goals, not giving up the, big plays for touchdowns. It's just the yards today really came from because we pumped the ball and they got, held back in, bad field position a lot of times. So they kind of got, but we held them to punts and everything a lot. What's up, Trizzy? How you doing? How you feeling about the loss? Man, it's not. Let me see. Also, Saints own Panthers in history. Yeah. Yeah. Warren had a bad game. The defense still played good enough to win. Exactly. Again, the defense, I don't want to hear nobody come on here, not on stream, I'm talking about Twitter and everything. I don't want to hear no Panthers fan be like, this is on defense. This is on Dave Canales. If Dave Canales is mentioned, because guess what? Dave Canales used this exact game plan the last 5 weeks when Bryce Young has been the starter. Hence why he's not had a 200-yard game since September, because he's had the exact same game plan against every single defense the last 5 weeks as that Bryce. So this debate is Dave Canales the issue? He's not. Okay, he's not. Dave Canales is not the issue. He's limited. He's simply limited, right? And again, maybe it's like the argument you guys might have is if there's not a lot of deep pass being thrown and a vertical threat is not, happening, why not be able to do that? Like if you're Dave Canales, why not at least try it and see if it works? Well, we're not in practice. We don't really see what's going on. So maybe he just really doesn't see it. And the run game has been working. Okay. So this might be an adjustment period. Okay. Seeing that like teams are now going to just load the box. Bryce, you need to start making plays simply downfield. What's up, Underground West? He said, I've defended Bryce over and over, but I can't do it anymore. Yeah. I get it. I get it. Listen, I still want him to be the franchise, but at some point we have to start being real with ourselves because this team, and I think that's a lot of the reason why this fan base is starting to get a little upset with Bryce just a tad bit because they see the talent that's starting to be, they see the talent, the young talent on this team now, and they see that the coach is good. I mean, at least I think the coach that we have is good, right? So at some point, it's like, Bryce, you got to step up and make these type of, make these plays. Okay, that pick the T-Mac today was awful, was terrible. Let's not discuss how he stares down T-Mac every single game. Like, doesn't even look XL's way, which I'm not going to blame him for that, but doesn't look Coker's way. I mean, again, that pass that he had to XL in the end zone was a complete drop. That was not a bad throw, by the way. It was in XL's hands. He could have at least tried to catch the ball. But Coker, why is he not getting, looks? It seems like T-Mac is the only one really. He's getting stared down, kind of, as a, and you can't do that as a quarterback. You just simply cannot do that. Godfather, he says, so should we go after quarterback in this draft? I do want to discuss the draft a little bit because I've kind of did post something on Twitter as well that kind of like my top. Pull that up for you guys real quick. Just kind of start that discussion just for some fun. But I will post something this week, a video about the draft. For sure, just like kind of like giving you guys an update. I was going to do that just because it's mid-season, kind of give you guys an update on what's happening, with everything. But here is my list. Honestly, no one agrees. I'm gonna pull it up for you guys real quick. All right, let me see. So yeah, discussing the draft. All right, here was my mid-season kind of draft targets for us. I posted this yesterday, by the way. Wide receiver Mekhi Lemon, linebacker David Bailey from Texas Tech, Sonny Styles, and Cassius Howell. I'm going to be doing some deep diving when it comes to the draft here soon, like really just kind of breaking something down because obviously the draft is important. Even if we make the playoffs, the draft is important. Continue trying to build this team, getting the most talent as possible on this. But talking about quarterback in this draft, there's no quarterback in this draft that I want to draft, simply. I just don't. Okay, Marcel, he has run by the end of the season. He could be in the draft this year. In terms of like just his stock, he's starting to rise. But in this draft, like to your question, if we should draft the quarterback season, next season is when I think we should do it. If Bryce is still not the answer. Okay, because Marcel Reed is a super talented quarterback. I actually said this last year when I first started my channel up. Marcel Reed was on my target like last year before he even blew up the season. To go quarterback like beginning of last year when we were so bad, Bryce got benched. We kind of got in that conversation. But this team, and a lot of people were like, this team's not ready to draft the quarterback. Yes, we will be. There's enough young talent on this team that's going to continue to develop. By next season, this team will be even this draft. I think we could take a quarterback. If you want to move on for Bryce, sure. and draft a quarterback this season, you could. I would say no because the talent's not there in the draft. Besides quarterback, don't just take that risk. Take another, step, right, in terms of adding talent, and then next season get another year of that extra development with your young players. Then go after a quarterback, a guy like a Marcel Reed, if that makes sense. But in this draft, no. Again, David Bailey is my top target in terms of it's hard to tell right now because there's so many good players, man, at pass rusher, linebacker, safety, so many good players in this draft on defense. Good players in this draft on defense. I can't count on one hand or two hands, right? There's 10 plus in the first round that are so good. David Bailey range to be drafted from Texas Tech. If you guys haven't seen him, go watch his highlights. Very good player. He's a Jalen Walker-esque player, except he's more polished as a pass rusher. When we got here in the draft process last year, and Jalen Walker was on a lot of our radar in terms of getting drafted because we need to be that he was a very raw player when it came after the quarterback on the edge, right? He could do that type of stuff, but in terms of being polished, he wasn't that, right? David Bailey out of Texas Tech is literally that player. He can play linebacker, play the Micah Parsons role, but he's very good on the edge already. That's how good he is. A lot of people are saying he's similar to Mike Green because he has the most sacks in this season. He's the best player on a team that's about to make the playoffs. Okay, let's not compare David Bailey to Mike Green because David Bailey's a better player than Mike Green is. Okay, let's not compare the two. Green was only a pass rusher. David Bailey is a complete linebacker who can play both, has great size, great length, and is the best player on a team that's a top 10 team in college football. Mike Green, right? So it's just the level of competition also doesn't match up. He's on my top target. If you want to go receiver, this team needs a receiver. For you guys that don't want to take receiver, Mekhi Lemon is elite. Obviously, Carnell Tate's one, and then you have Mekhi Lemon two, in my opinion. You already have T-Mac on the outside. If you want to go after a slot receiver that's a given, going to be talented receiver in the slot, it's Mekhi Lemon at a USC. Okay. And for people like, oh, I don't think we need a receiver. Yes, we do. XL sucks. Okay. Second, Jalen Coker is not getting enough touches, and maybe his ceiling is not as high as a lot of us think. Okay. Simple. So receiver is a problem still. For people that don't think receiver's a problem, receiver is most definitely still an issue with this team. Tight end, I don't know what we're doing with tight end. I just don't, because I think Mitchell Evans is the best tight end on this team. He gets the least amount of snaps. He did get injured today. Hopefully he's good. But tight end, we're not taking the first round. Simple. If we do go tight end, which I don't think we will. Young tight ends on the roster. But yeah. I know I'm on this topic a lot about the draft. I'm sorry, but there's good to discuss. But quarterback in this draft, no. Simply not. Especially under contract, and you can, maybe even go another year. But Bryce isn't bad. He can be a bridge quarterback. Clearly we're 5-5, right? So it's not like he sucks and he's terrible, right? But if this draft, it's not. It's not. There's so many good defensive players in this draft. There's a great slot receiver with Mekhi Lemon there as well. Go receiver, which if you want to listen. I know a lot of people don't want to go receiver, but if you want to really go with Lemon and then Jalen Coker there, Jimmy Horn had that fumble today, which sucks, but Jimmy Horn still has a lot of potential. If you plug in Marcel Reed in next draft, you're cooking on offense in 2020. What is it? 2027, man. You're going to be eating on offense, and plus you got a lot. So I like that. Evan said, okay, you guys might kill me for this. T-Mac is awesome, but why does he have a lot of drops, like 2 a game? That should be called. It doesn't matter if he wins his games. But good thing bring up T-Mac. Listen, T-Mac is a rookie, and he's putting up numbers with a quarterback that simply cannot throw the ball at this point. He has 620 yards. He's productive right now. I don't really care about the drops. I understand your point on it, but he's so good as a receiver right now as a rookie. If you're going to put up numbers like this as a rookie, it doesn't matter. Okay. Now, next season, if he continues drops and he doesn't get better from this, then yes, I will be concerned. But as a rookie, he's going to hit 1,000 yards if he stays healthy. It's just going to happen. No matter if Bryce Young continues to go, think about it, his quarterback is continuously throwing under 200 yards every single week, and he's at 620 receiving yards as a rookie. Okay. Like that's amazing. Right. So yes, I do get your point. I do understand where you're coming from. I wouldn't panic. Okay. Because he's being productive. Right. Being him to as we want drops. Yes, there are. He could have 750 yards right now with 2-3 extra touchdowns. He could have an all pro level season as a rookie right now if he caught on to some more balls, which is just even more impressive. But yes, I'm not going to at all sit here and blame him for I don't know. Let me see. But yeah, T-Mac, man, again, he will be okay. He will be good. I understand. Listen, we have XO who decided to drop a bunch of passes as a rookie, still does. T-Mac has great hands, okay? A lot of passes that he caught, like today, he had a great catch on third down that was outside. It was a tough catch, right? He drops balls that are tough catches. Not like he's dropping easy passes, right? That's the thing. It's not like T-Mac is out here dropping easy passes. He's dropping tough passes that are just not. It's just not. I mean, I'm just not going to blame T-Mac as a rookie. You're just simply not going to do it. But I do understand. He's a rookie. He's being productive as a rookie as well. The defense is great. Yeah, listen, I'm not going to sit here and blame the defense. I'm not doing it. Because, again, this is the exact same game plan we had against the Packers. And simply Bryce lost us this game. Okay? I'm just going to be just completely honest with y'all. I know I said it, but I'm going to keep saying it. I'm not going to sit here and blame Dave Canales for the loss. I'm not going to sit here and blame the defense for the loss. They made better plays and not give up, big plays and busted coverages to a rookie quarterback. But they also gave us the opportunity to win this game, okay, and not turn the ball over as many times as we did. And we also got bailed out like 20 times today with flags that were not flags. So it's just, I don't know. It's just where we are right now as a team. Okay. And listen, there's still now a chunk. Listen, there are people out here still that are going to just be a Bryce Young apologist. All right. It's going to happen. But I want you guys to know, because a lot of y'all on live right now watch my channel a lot, which I appreciate y'all for doing that, obviously. I want you guys to know to watch games and be objective. We can't watch games and be a fan of a certain player. We can't do that. Okay. Because that's not how you're going to get smarter and logically smart at football, watching football, okay? And that's why I break down film for you guys every week, drop a bunch of videos, go live with you guys, because I want you guys to also grow with me, when it comes to getting smarter about the game of football, knowing certain things and if certain players it or not, okay? I don't know. But let's not sit here as a fan base and sit and say this game is not on Bryce Young and say, oh, it's on defense and Dave Canales too. No, it's not, because this game plan today was the exact same game plan as last week. And we won the game against the best team in the NFC. Okay. So, yeah, it's just kind of what I want to say. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Corbin said, worst play was the Chuba pass on 4th and 2. It just line, you throw a pass to Chuba. It was a mentally check. You know what? I have no confidence. Let me just throw this to Chuba, whatever. That's kind of what the pass was, and it made me upset. Bamo said Mac Jones for a bridge. I mean, Mac Jones has been good this year. I don't know personally if I would want Mac Jones, but yes, as a bridge, if you want to do one season, I would be okay with it, because Mac Jones has been pretty decent this year. And we see, man, bridge quarterbacks are everywhere. All right. Everywhere. And there's bridge quarterbacks out here that are turning into franchise quarterbacks. Baker, Sam Darnold, who else? I mean, there's plenty more that I could probably name I can't think of right now. But those are the name two that have their teams as the top teams in their respective conferences. So yes, Mac Jones will not be upset if we do move on from Bryce, which if we make the playoffs, I don't think we will, because why would you do that unless you really think the quarterback is the biggest issue as a franchise and you're like Mac Jones will be the answer, then yes. But other than that, I don't know. You talking about me blaming everybody for a total team loss? I mean, I don't really know. I'm not doing that personally. No one's in the chat's doing it. I mean, I feel like I see everybody in here doing it. I mean, we got people blaming everybody in here. Blame Horn, which is valid. I mean, we got people, listen, we got people talking about the receiver room, making, dropping balls, right? Like, I'm just saying, Bryce Young did not play good today. Simple. And at some point, you got to figure that out. And this team has talent, and the coach is good. You got to find a way to win games as a quarterback, and you had opportunity enough plays. It is what it is. Yo, what's up? What's up, bro? How we feeling about the loss? About the draft? Appreciate it. You see, excellent it. Coker ain't it. We need another receiver. Yep. Agree with. Do I think Coker ain't it? Do I agree with that necessarily at this point? No. But is he a number 2 receiver potentially? I don't know about that anymore. But I don't see going to be on this team. Is he not it? I want to go that far yet. If that makes sense. But yes, we do need another receiver, which is why Mekhi Lemon, your receiver, you have 2 great receivers at that point with insanely high potential if you go Mekhi Lemon in the draft, which is why I did mention him, which a lot of people were like, don't go receiver in the draft. At this point, I think this team is talented enough where you can go best player available. If you want to add another receiver, go ahead and do it. If you want to add another pass rusher, go ahead and do it, even though you have Nick Scorn, who, by the way, played great today. Like, if we want to touch it on Nick Scorn could have 6 sacks this year, but he only has 3 because he doesn't know how to finish them. But Nick Scorn's potential is definitely up there as a player, which I'm very excited about. And I say I'm not panicking with right. He's going to be a guy catches everything, but it's fine because he's doing good. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I do kind of agree with that. I do think T-Mac, the biggest concern for T-Mac, I feel like coming, in the draft process was, can he get open? And he's proven that he can. He can create separation. Okay, that's the biggest thing for T-Mac that he's really been able to prove so far this year as a rookie. When it comes to one-on-one passes, he's done it a lot this year, if that makes sense. I feel like the drop balls is a lot of one-hand catches. Right. I'm not really worried about T-Mac personally, but I do understand what you're saying, okay? Like today, like he's honestly, his best attribute right now as a rookie is really like, he's very smart as a receiver. Like if you're playing zone coverage, he will find the zone and get open. Like we see that every single week. There's like a pass that he has 15, yards on the field where it'll be an in route and he'll just make the perfect cut and find the perfect zone and Bryce will, give him the ball. So T-Mac, I think that's his biggest thing this season in terms of like biggest plus as a receiver, as a rookie, is being able to, he's very smart as a rookie, very, very smart as a player, very smart as a receiver. So yeah, the open space, getting open is very valid as well. But I do think the one-on-one passes, he's had a couple of passes or catches like that, right? Like if that makes sense. But again, Bryce Young also has not been very accurate this season either, so it's kind of hard to do that. He says, so JC didn't fall twice for touchdowns. The first pass, JC locked Chris Olave up. You could argue it was offensive PI. Again, I won't say it was because I don't want to be a homer, but he kind of did push off a little bit. I'm not going to call that because I'm not a homer. I don't want to say that. But again, he did lock him up. It's not like he got beat. He did fall though. Okay, sure. And then the second touchdown, that was bad. That was a bad play. I mean, they really didn't have anything there. If JC's, we probably stop them on that drive, but they scored. So that was a bad play from Jaden. Bryce is ranked number 29 in QB rankings. That's poor. Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible, right? And it is what it is. I mean, I don't know. Like, Bryce has to be better, simply. Has to be better. He has to be better. And for people saying that he's fine, this and that, no, Bryce has to be better, man. Right? He has to be. So we'll see. We'll see kind of how it develops. Obviously, this week could just be a slump game, and we can come out here and look like we did against the Packers, against the Niners, and we go to the Rams game 7-5. What do I know? Right? What do I know? But that's right now at this point, he didn't have a good game. He had a very poor game. And ranking 29 in terms of starting quarterbacks, I'm not going to sit here and say that's wrong. He needs to play better. Okay, he does. And I know we go back and forth, as you mentioned on Twitter today. Like, we go back and forth and we don't agree a lot on things. But again, one thing that I will say, and honestly, one thing you did agree, disagree with me on a little bit, is that I kind of pick and choose players. I don't do that, right? Like, I will straight up tell you and everybody in the chat and everybody that whatever, that someone sucks if they suck. And that's one thing I will do, and listen, Bryce Young was terrible today. He was bad, so that is one thing that I'm not, is a homer, and I don't pick and choose players. I very much watch football and, understand the game and who, what's good and what's not, if that makes sense. So he did very, very much play like trash. The O-line could not block consistent. Agreed, there were plays that he couldn't, but he also held on the ball a little too long in some places as well. Right, but the O-line was not good today. Simply wasn't good. Canal is calling obvious plays on obvious downs. I mean, listen. I understand your point. All right, I understand your point. Trust that Bryce is going to be able to get the ball out when they're all out blitz expecting a run. I mean, as a play caller, you're kind of tied up in a knot as a offensive coordinator. Or in it's 3rd and 3, for example, right? For example, it's 3rd and 3. The Saints know their game plan is stopping Rico Dowdle on the run game. Okay, that's their game plan the entire time, right? Bryce Young has not been able to throw the ball all game long. Okay, what do you do as a head coach, right? The defense is about to send 9 players or 8 players and just send them at Bryce Young. So either you run the ball and you don't get it, or you hope Rico Dowdle has the offensive line sets a nice block and you give him a nice hole. It's that option, or Bryce Young takes a sack and no one gets open and you're cooked. I mean, what do you want him to do, right? What do you want him to do? And what do you want him to do whenever your rookie receiver, he calls a jet sweep and he fumbles the ball? What do you want to know, for you guys who are saying it's on Dave Canals, what do you want him to do in obvious down situations? I mean, sure, but you're tied in a knot. When the Saints are clearly trying to stop the run and your quarterback can't do anything in the passing game, on 3rd and shorts, 4th and shorts, when the game's on line, they're about to send 8, 9 players to stop the run. And if you're throwing the ball, I mean, Bryce Young clearly just was not confident today when they sent blitzes, because he just knew he was not confident because he knew he could not throw the ball downfield. Simply. So I would disagree, because yes, it's calling obvious plays on obvious downs. What do you want him to do? Be creative when they're about to send 9 players and do a play action? Like, what do you exactly want him to do as a play caller? And I don't know. I just think, yes, in the beginning of the game, he could adjust a little better, but in terms of the obvious down calls, I mean, what exactly do you want him to do with that? You know what I'm saying? Total team loss. I will agree to a certain extent, because the defense could have played better, could have limited big plays. But at the same time, it's kind of like the defense only held them to 17 points, and you had opportunities to come back and win this game. It was 10-7 in the ball game when they had like 200 more yards than you on offense. And you literally could have went down there and just won the ball game. and got out there in an ugly win, and we would be 6-4 right now. But because your quarterback could not make plays, and they obviously try to stop the run, and you can't do anything. It's just, I'm not going to blame the defense if that makes sense, really. Okay, yes, there were certain points that the defense gave up big plays. J.C. Horn, for example, but I mean, this loss is on the quarterback and the offense, the passing game. It begins with the quarterback. He has to be able to take over and produce. Agree. What's up, man? How you doing? Crazy thing is, Bryce looked over and saw the blitz coming and still just stood there and threw that less than 2 yards past the Chuba. Yeah, I just don't get it. I don't get it. And Bryce has been so good with kind of like, calling protections, doing that type of stuff, changing play calls. 4th and 2, man. I mean, you got to either change the play or change the protection. Like, I don't know. Facts. 2 quarterbacks that played on our team is crazy are now legit starters. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's a Panthers problem. I don't know, but that's at the same time, I feel like this is the first time in a while that we actually have a good coach and a good foundation. So maybe it's just not them, and maybe it's just Bryce is maybe not a game changer at quarterback. Okay. Because I feel like bring back Baker and Sam Darnold, especially Baker Mayfield. Baker's cooking with this team, right? Even though we're not there yet as a team, I think he's doing enough as a quarterback to where we win this type of game today. Simply. Thoughts on players that are in the hot seat and might not be here next season? Great question. Very good question. Very, 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 very good question. Players on this team that are hot seat that might not be here. Mike Jackson. That's tough. Mike Jackson's on there. XL's. Listen, if XL receiving, he might not be on this team next year. I'm just going to be honest. Listen, it's not any hate towards me either. It's just what the front office is going to look at, especially if we draft Makai Lemon. Dude, XL is going to be gone potentially. Like, it's just, I'm sorry. He will probably get traded out. Okay. XL, Mike Jackson, Nick Scott for sure, especially if we draft the safety. DJ Wanham is definitely on the hot seat because we have 2 good pass rushers, especially if we draft another one in the first round. He's on the hot seat for sure. It's tough. And all the interior players, I mean, I guess you could say Ashawn, depending on the development of Cam Jackson. Offensively, you could say Chuba is on the hot seat. It's just interesting. That whole situation is interesting. I don't want to put anybody in the hot seat there. XL, our receiver, maybe. It's so tough to. Bryce Young. I mean, Bryce is on the hot seat, especially if we don't make the playoffs. He's on the hot seat. Those would be my players that are on the hot seat to not be on the team next year. I like Coker in the start a lot. Same. I love that you're saying this. Appreciate you, Nick. Makai Lemon is crazy in the slot, man. He's literally like a Mecha Ibuka. Like, if you guys watch Makai Lemon, that's my comp. Like, in college, right? And the potential is there too to be a Mecha Ibuka as well. Like, that's same size, same just play style as a Mecha. He's literally an elite player in the slot, like as good as a Mecha. Just simple. Listen, if Makai Lemon is in our position to be taken, he's going to be on my radar. Simple, because again, we need receivers, right? For people that are, I love Coker. I love, at the end of the day, are they game changers at receiver? Like, Jalen Coker can probably be a good third player at receiver, but is he going to be, like, who are I talking about? XL and Jalen Coker, yeah. But are they going to be game changers? No. But Makai Lemon can be a game changer. So is T-Mac. You need to start building this team with game changers. Right. What's up, Blastito? He said, I'm panicking because Saints are just showed the game plan. Teams aren't afraid of deep pass and shut down the run. Yeah, man. I mean, simply put, when we play teams more talented, And by the way, if you guys don't know now, this schedule is ramping up. For you guys that don't understand right now, this schedule is starting to ramp up. Just want you guys to understand that. For people that don't know yet, this schedule is about to ramp up. Seahawks. I mean, at this point, the Falcons next week could be a tough game. I mean, listen, this schedule is about to ramp up. If every team decides to shut down the run, we will be shown if Bryce Young is going to be here next year or not. Actually, you know what? I might call every defensive coordinator and say blitz every time. Stop the run. I want to see if Bryce Young has the guts to be a franchise quarterback, because I'm done. It's either he takes us to the playoffs and he shows us now, or we move on in the offseason. That's where I am. That's where I am. Right. Like, that's just where I am when it comes to Bryce Young. But yes, if we all should be panicking, because the Saints literally just showed whatever defensive coordinator should be doing, and they're going to see this game and be like, we're going to do that. Like, the Falcons are going to do the same thing next week. The Niners are going to do the same thing. Every team is going to continue to do this game plan until Bryce Young proves I can throw the ball 5+ yards down the field. It's just going to happen. What's up, Maya-san? He said, honestly, I would take the potential outlook of Bryce Young over the lower ceiling of Nick's Penix if we were to never do the trade and end up with like the pick 9 in the 2024 draft in an alternate universe. Are you talking about Bo Nix and Michael? Yeah, for sure. I would take Bryce Young over Michael Penix any day of the week, just personally. Bo Nix is not a bad quarterback. I do agree, draft process-wise, never liked him. And I don't think he's really that good, in terms of a game changer at quarterback, and he's never going to be that. But so yeah, in this situation, I do agree. Like, I don't, yeah. I mean, we did give up a lot, to be honest, to get Bryce, which is kind of the tricky thing. But I don't know. Evan is like, Bryce is good enough to make good plays, makes you think he's good, but you never look the whole season. But you look over the whole season, let's be honest, he's not good. He's not the franchise is his third season. Perfectly said, Evan, right? Like, he makes good plays, right? He has that clutch gene in him when we're down by 3, right? But when his third quarter to all the way second and first quarter, he's just not it for whatever reason. But yeah, again, he's not bad, which is why he's still a starter in his third year, because he's not a bad quarterback, but he's not a game changer. And at this point, we're looking for a game changer. We have an all-pro level receiver with T-Mac on the outside. We have a good defense. I mean, let's be honest. We have J.C. Horn, Derek Brown, Trayvon Moore, and a bunch of good young players that are still developing. If you guys want to say J.C. had a bad game today, sure. I mean, he did. But we still have a very good core of defenders that can give us opportunities to win games like we did today, right? And last week. If we put a quarterback behind this offense, a good quarterback, like a top 15, even put Bo Nix on this offense, I think we would be a little better as a passing game. Okay, I do, because at the end of the day, the Broncos don't have a T-Mac on their team. Okay, like, I think Bo Nix is a better deep threat at this point in the NFL than Bryce Young is in terms of throwing the ball downfield. Even though I don't think he's that good in terms of a game changer. Like, I would not want Bo Nix on my team, in terms of like where I want this team to be. But that's just what I think personally when it comes to quarterback. I also have hope for Bryce, though. I'm going to cheer hard for him. Yep, exactly. It's what we all need to do. Listen, if we make the playoffs this year, it's going to be because Bryce Young took the step. Because at the end of the day, as Evan, or who said it? Blasito said, he basically said every defense has the game plan on us now. Stop Rico Dowdle. Okay. It's going to be that every single week. So if we make the playoffs this year, it's going to be because Bryce Young decided to actually take that step and make plays at the end of the season in this tough schedule. Okay. So, I mean, it's either we make the playoffs and Bryce Young proves himself, or we don't, and it's time to move on. It's just one of those two things, and we're not out of it yet. Of course, everyone wants him. He's a great guy. I love him, but he's not as good a player as he's just not. Listen, I love Bryson. I hope he's the franchise guy, but it's third season. At the end of the day, like, we gave him enough time, and it's time to really, like, think about it. Like, he's really not, he's just not the guy at this point. And at the third season, it's kind of like, is he ever going to be the guy? You're always honest, bro. We argue with that's what we do, but you do call a spade, and I respect that. Appreciate it, man. I mean, you listen, you do too. You're doing in this chat, and that's what I like. Listen, I like people that can talk ball and have knowledge behind their talk. I don't want people to just talk stuff and just say just random things and just say something because they like a player. Okay. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation, right? Like, I don't want anybody to just say something just because, right? Like, if you can back it up with, actual game film or, statistics, then your point's valid, simple. And a lot of people can't do that, right? Like, right? That's the point of is you have a take and you, right? It's just, especially the draft, right? Like, I hate when people argue over the draft. If you can back up why you think a player is this good or not, your point's valid, right? Like, we never know if a player is going to be good in the draft until they step foot on NFL turf, right? But if you can back up your thoughts, then it's okay, right? I'm gonna pull up these stats for you guys in this game once I get through a lot of these chats, man. Appreciate y'all for putting all these chats in, man. I love doing these live streams because y'all be showing up for me every single live stream, every single Sunday. I love doing this with you guys because y'all be showing up for me. What's up, Ginger Salmi? Says, Saints fan here. The primary issues for the Panthers were the running game and the pass defense. Both were more than likely bad due to the unique turn of events. This admittedly was peculiar. Listen, first of all, appreciate you for commenting. Great win, by the way, for you guys today. For the primary issues, I feel like those are secondary. I feel like the primary issues were y'all figured out we could stop the run game and Bryce can't throw the ball, right? Not covering the Panthers, I understand why you say the primary issues were the run game and the pass defense. I totally understand that. But, Panthers fans, we know how good Rico Dowdle's been, and we know that your defensive coordinator said, man, Rico's been so good, let's just blitz and stop the run all game and make Bryce beat us. And he couldn't do it. So that was really the bad part of it. I don't really blame Rico at all or the run game. I just don't, because he really didn't have anything to do. And the pass defense was not good today, okay? I do agree with that. If you want to go defense side of the ball, the pass defense was the primary issue on defense, okay? It was like we let Tyler Shuck cook us, by the way. And by the way, you guys have a great young quarterback as well. It looked actually made great plays today. But the run defense, I don't really blame Rico or the running game, but the pass defense on defense was definitely the primary issue for sure. But great win for y'all, to say the least. You guys are probably you guys are at the playoffs, but hope you guys get someone good in the draft, obviously, and there's great players in this draft, by the way, like great players. So you guys have options, especially at receiver too. I mean, if you guys want to, if Tyler Shuck turns out to be good, y'all got Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lemick, great players in the draft that you guys go after. But good luck for you guys, rest of the season, this off season, just building y'all team. But yeah, the run game, don't blame it. Pass defense was bad. I do agree. What's up, Mark? He said, as a Falcons fan, from my input is that Bryce Young has shown great potential, but he's way too inconsistent to be NFL quarterback whenever he faces perfect way to say it, especially as a Falcons fan. You guys are usually not very, logical. So this is very logical from a Falcons fan. That's correct. The potential's there. Listen, the reason why he got drafted number 1 overall and we traded all the way up is because of the potential that Bryce Young had as a quarterback. I mean, simple, right? And he's shown the potential, which is why 8 of his 10 wins so far as a quarterback in the NFL are game-winning drives because of the potential that he does have, right? But he's too inconsistent, to your point. Too inconsistent, doesn't know how to start games off strong, and just has not put it together as a quarterback. And the pressure, he's just not good. If it's blitzing or pressure in terms of mentally, right? That's another big one too. Like if he's facing pressure, right? To a certain extent, I don't agree with myself on that because again, he is 8 of 10 in terms of game-winning drives. The pressure, like early in games, right? 4th down, right? Like today, you saw it. I mean, you're playing the Saints, right? And you have the opportunity. It's 4th down, 3rd down. He just doesn't throw the ball. There's pressure there. Get us back in the game, win the game for us. And he doesn't do it. I don't know, man, but yeah. So Patrick, he says, Bryce ain't it. It's sad to say considering how much we gave up to get him, but damn. Yeah, man. I don't know. It sucks. Placido said the problem I'm seeing is people putting blame on other parts of the team when they have to play perfect to make consistent Bryce failure. And I was true. Yeah, exactly. Perfect said again. And you guys are putting great stuff in the chat, by the way. I mean, it's making my job easy to just basically agree with y'all. But yeah, this is perfect. People like to put blame on other things than Bryce to make their point look better and just say this is on him. Rookie season, I would not put that on Bryce Young at all. Last year, there were more, but at this point, second to coach who's actually a good head coach and actual talent on the team to reason why you're 5-5 right now. That's at some point Bryce Young is the issue. Okay, right? At some point. Yes, it's sadly that's kind of how we are right now. It's like the team has to play perfect to mask for a consistent Bryce failure. That's perfectly said from Plastido. Perfectly said. Bryce couldn't even manage the game, let alone change it. This game, yeah. Last week against the Packers, great job managing the game, especially on the last drive. But he's just inconsistent at doing that. Like, if you're going to be a game manager, you better be consistent at it, right? You better be consistent at it. But he's just not this season. Think about it this way. Imagine you had C.J. Stroud and Bo Nix at quarterback. Would your team be different? That's a great question, too. I mean, listen, C.J. Stroud, as a quarterback, and Bryce Young was just a better, draft pick. But right now, I mean, C.J. Stroud isn't really necessarily playing great this year. Again, you can say the offensive line has been bad. The Texans' position right now isn't great for CJ. And he's proven himself with a good team. So I think with CJ, we probably will be better this year. I can't lie to you guys. And Bo Nix is why. I mean, Bo Nix has an actual deep threat ability that he does have at quarterback. And he has a good, clutch gene as well. And he's been better than Bryce Young, right? Do you think the Panthers are in a position to trade up to snag a quarterback in the draft? It's a relatively good position, or is there too much PTSD? This season, no. But next season, if we're in a position to take Marcel Reed, obviously Marcel Reed, if he goes this year or next year, is going to be especially next year. If he goes next year, he's going to be a top 10 pick. Okay. And I don't think we're going to be bad and be good, better play on this team. Plus, I mean, there's good players on the team right now, but I mean, like, the young players are going to continue to develop. Right. So I don't know. But yes, and this year, I don't think we're going I don't think we should trade up. Next year, though, with Marcel Reed, absolutely. If you're in position to do it, then I think you should. Unless you're going to be the number one overall pick, then maybe not, which I hope he declares this year. I really do. Because if he declares this year, he might be in the 15 range and you're getting a steal. But if he declares next year and he's good again, bro, he's going to be a top 5 pick. Okay, and I don't think we're going to be that bad. So we're going to have to, trade up pretty hefty to get him. But Marcel Reed's that level talented player, in my opinion. XO on the hot seat when they know all receivers are underperforming because of Bryce. XL's not been good. Like, I do understand what you're saying, but I mean, T-Mac is underperforming as a rookie at 620 yards, right? I can understand what, again, y'all are going to come in the chat and be like, well, he's kind of eye-locking T-Mac every single game. Bryce is doing too much of that stupid stuff where he's just staring down T-Mac. But I don't think XL's been good enough. I mean, at the end of the day, last year did not perform well. This season still just not taking that step as a receiver. So he's definitely on the hot seat for sure. I mean, no matter if we move on from Bryce or not, he's on the hot seat. We need another cornerback. I like this. Oh, yeah. You're talking about Will Lee. Will Lee's definitely solid. Let me think. If Leonard Moore is their cleaner from Notre Dame, he's definitely like the best corner in college football. I don't know if he's going to be coming back to us or not, but he's the best corner in college football. If he's in there, that's what I would think. But yeah, Will Lee's good. He has great size. Obviously, Mike Jackson not going to be here for long, even if he's back again next season. He won't be here for a long time. He said we need a wide receiver definitely in XL. Just isn't Phil Bryce. Mekhi Lemon, I want bad. Yeah, Mekhi Lemon's elite football player. Very, very good. I say we draft Mendoza, Sellers, or Dante if they're around 8 or 12, where we probably end up drafting. Sellers, no. He's going to be Anthony Richardson, or he hasn't proven me enough as a passer, personally. All right. But I do understand the body type, the prototype that he does have. I understand why you would want him. It makes total sense. Me personally, no. Mendoza, he has the mindset. All right. If we take a quarterback, I want Mendoza. Just me personally. He's I don't know, something about him. Like, I think he's gonna be a good quarterback in the NFL. Dante Moore, great potential there as a quarterback. I would rather Marcel Reed in the year after, just take one more year to build instead of going the potential of Dante Moore, right? If we take a quarterback, I would rather take Mendoza because he's gonna be able to step in right away and be good right away. I'll be glad if the Panthers figure it out. I'm tired of the inconsistency on both sides of the ball. Agree with you totally, man. I'm pretty much with you on your quote that if Bryce takes us to the playoffs, cool. If not, I move on for Bryce. What's up, Micah? Yeah, listen, this is where I'm at. I mean, we have a tough schedule. If we go to the playoffs again, it's going to be because Bryce take the step. Because at this point, teams are going to realize we can stop this offense. Okay, it's just how it is. I'd rather wait till March. Yeah, exactly. Because it just gives us another year to kind of build this roster out a little more. Let the young guys develop more. If we take Bryce another season, cool. If we don't get that bridge quarterback, and a bridge quarterback could take this team next year to the playoffs. Like, believe it or not, because this team has a lot, but don't realize yet. This team has a lot of young talent. Get Kyler Murray offseason, way better runner, got a rocket of armor, will test defenders. If he stays healthy, I actually wouldn't mind Kyler Murray. Because Kyler Murray's simply. So, yeah, I don't mind that, especially for a bridge quarterback. A lot of people are going to be like, I don't want another small quarterback, which I totally understand that, by the way, as well. But yeah. Man, y'all filling the chat up. I love it. Evan said Bryce only has deep throws if the wide receiver makes it and runs a lot after. Oh man. Yeah, there's not been a lot of deep passes this year. I don't even know how many completed passes he has downfield this year. I couldn't tell you. Like 20 plus yards on the field. I couldn't tell you. Tim Tebow was a great guy and even got the boot. True. To be honest, how long did it take for Josh Allen to get where he's at now? Great question. Let me see. It definitely, I don't know if it might have been 3 years. Let me see. Let me pull it up really quick for you guys. Let me see. 2018 to where he's at now, third season. So where Bryce is right now, his third season, he had 37 touchdowns to 10 interceptions, 4,500 yards. Second season had 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 3,000 yards. So yeah, Bryce is way behind of what Josh Allen was as a quarterback in his third season. Way, but it's not even debatable. I don't know whose war points. They both look terrible. I'd personally have Bryce Young over Michael Penix. Michael Penix is just not a quarterback. But I do understand what you're saying. Bryce actually is talented, in my opinion. And he honestly has a mental game. Like, he's smart. Like, it's just he hasn't been able to put it together. Michael Penix just is not a good quarterback, in my opinion. Just simply. Like, he just doesn't have the talent. It's sunk. Move on. Stop worrying about what we gave up for Bryce. Yeah. It's over. I mean, it's over. It's been, 3 years now? So it's kind of move on from that. Like I said, you can't say it any better. Bryce can make plays. Of course he can, and that's not hard to do, but he can't win us a game consistently. If you ask me, that's not a good quarterback. Rico won us 5. Yeah. Yep. All right, you know what? Let me go to the box score real quick for you guys. Share these stats from today's game. I'm gonna get to the chats after. Man, this whole stream, this whole hour, we've been going through chats. I mean, listen, I don't care what we do as long as we have fun in here, and we've definitely have fun in here all stream long. Let me get this up. All right, here are the stats for today's game. Tyler Shuck, 19 for 27, 282, 2 touchdowns. Again, a lot of those yards and stuff came from J.C. Horn's 2 passes and that busted coverage in the beginning of the game. Realistically, we really did not do a bad job against Tyler Shuck. As much as you guys want to say we might have did, we really didn't. All right, which is why we were able to hold him to 17 points. All right, it was just a lot of plays that we shouldn't have busted coverages. Right, if that makes sense. Alvin Kamara really kind of did a good job. Really give credit to Derek Brown because he was everywhere today, by the way. Derek Brown was amazing. Trevor Moore was good today as well, as he's always been. To stop that run, only 3.8 yards per carry. Did a good job there for Alvin Kamara. He had a couple of big plays. Obviously, his longest was 16. But in terms of stopping him for a full game, we did a decent job. Bryce Young, 17 for 25, 124. I mean, listen, when you're averaging 5 yards a catch, when you're averaging 5 yards a catch, bro, or is that attempt? I don't really care. When you're averaging 5 yards an attempt or catch, it doesn't matter. That's terrible. That's terrible. And obviously that interception was bad. Rico Dowdle got held to 2.9 yards per carry. I mean, again, I'm not going to sit here and blame Rico Dowdle for anything today because I could have went out there and probably averaged negative yards today because of how much the Saints were able to just stop that running game. Receiving wise, Chris Olave, whatever, cool. Had a big catch, 2 big catches actually. Juwan Johnson, let him go off. T-Mac, 5 catches, 60 yards. T-Mac had a good game today, man. Again, just did what he needed to do. JT with 32 yards. Jalen Cook with 21 yards. XL, no yards again. Man, XL's, I'm telling y'all right now, I need more. Again, you could blame Bryce. I'll be okay with that. But I'm just saying, like, it just sucks, man. We traded up to get him last year, and he's not been able to really do enough. Defensively, let me see. Derek Brown, 9 total tackles, 1 TFL, was a monster today on the interior. Trayvon Moore, same thing, another TFL. Trayvon Moore is on pace for like 15 TFLs as safety, by the way. Like, we got to start having a conversation about Trayvon Moore. Like, he's amazing. Turk, 7 tackles, 1 TFL. Shaw, 6 tackles. All him, by the way. Nick Scott, whatever. DJ Wanham, tired of DJ Wanham playing like booty cheeks. Trevor Wallace, pretty good game until he went down. I don't know if he went back out there after he got injured. I don't think I've seen him, but Trevor Wallace, good game today. Had that sack in the beginning of the game. He is starting to become one of my favorite defenders on this team. He's part of the reason why I'm excited about this team in general in the future because of his ability to continue to develop. Nick Scorin had a sack, should have had 2.5 sacks today, which we could touch on Nick Scorin as well. But Christian Roseboom, everybody else mid game. Defensively for the Saints, Samaro Davis was everywhere. Had a couple, batted passes. Pete Warner was everywhere. Lante Taylor obviously had that interception, I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, listen, the Saints didn't do nothing special. But I kind of want to touch on Nick Scorin now a little bit because of the fact that I just want to touch on Nick Scorin. Player that is starting to become better and better. I think he has like 3 sacks on the year right now. Again, if he can end the season with 6 sacks, that would be pretty impressive. Like, that'll be a good first season. I mean, realistically, with what Nick Scorin has been able to do, especially this game, he should have like 6 sacks on the year, maybe even 5. I mean, even 5 would be cool. Like, think about it. Like, we actually have a good pass rushing duo at, with the core right now with Princely and for the future, right? It's fun to watch. And Nick Scorin, he's getting better. He's already a very good run stopper, right? If he can continue to develop that pass rush game, he's going to be such a good, edge rusher for us in the future, right? But he needs to finish sacks because he could have had a sack in the beginning of the game. Should have had 2 sacks today, but he only had 1, which was, by the way, that sack he had was outstanding because he got held by the neck and still made the sack. But again, he's just learning. He's a rookie. I'm not going to blame him for a lot because he's a rookie. I don't blame a lot of rookies, especially when you're out there making plays on a week-to-week basis. I'm not going to be up here blaming you. Okay. There's stuff to clean up as a rookie, right? But that's when you have to continue to develop that. And next year, if he's out here missing sacks and not, then I'm going to be upset. But that's next season. This year as a rookie, he has 3 sacks on the season so far. Good against the run, making plays. That's all I can ask for, right? For a second-round rookie. Bryce didn't win 5. Rico did. He's not bad, but he's not good. That's like perfectly said. Yep. We thought we would get a Jalen Hurts game manager, but we have a have a Tebow consistency. Hey, it's painful. It's painful. Bryce made rookie mistakes, and we can't afford that anymore. Bryce, yeah, he's a third-year player. I'm tired. We are all tired of the rookie mistakes, and it's more time, right? At the end of the season, again, if he can finish this year off strong, we're not going to look at this game any different. If he can take us to the playoffs, I mean, and he looks good doing it, and actually, have some good games, I mean, I'm not going to be upset, right? I mean, why would I be? But right now, no, man. It's time to lock in as a quarterback. It's not you're not a rookie anymore. Okay, 30-year player. May not be. It's evidence it's the rookie year. Rookie season, I'm not going to blame it on him. Frank Reich was horrendous. And the team wasn't really that good anyway. So, and he was throwing a DJ Chark. So, I don't really blame Bryce as a rookie. I don't. I mean, I don't think I would blame any quarterback with that roster that he had and that coach that he had. But this season, yes. It's time to start raising those questions. Same, I tried, and Packers, I was still like, oh, well, we got our win, and Bryce shows up clutch, but this was the game exactly. This was the game to show up and prove yourself as a quarterback. This was, because the Packers game, again, he was clutch. Like you mentioned, he had a good game. Actually, not a good game. He had a good last drive to make himself look better, which is cool. But this was a game to prove it, man. And he just didn't do it. He made the mistakes to lose this game. He did, right? It's time to just step up, man. If you're a quarterback that wants to get paid and you want to prove yourself to be a good quarterback in the NFL, these games, you got to prove yourself. And he didn't do it. What's up, Edgekeeper? He said he's not the answer. Yeah, I don't blame anybody who says he is or isn't, sorry, at this point. I just don't. Godfather says, do we pay Rico? That's such an interesting question. Again, Rico Dowdle has been our offense this year. Really. So the question of do we pay Rico, it's going to be tough. I don't know, man. We have Chuba Hubbard on a contract right now. If we trade Chuba, I think that'll probably pave the way to extending Rico. It's going to be interesting. But do I think we should pay Rico? I do think we should. Pay Rico Dowdle personally. 1 to 2 years. Nothing over, because obviously running back position has so much it's so I do think we should pay him only 1 to 2 years, but give him the money that he wants. If he wants $10 million a year, he deserves it. He's playing this good this year. He deserves it. I mean, I do think he deserves it. So, but again, I don't think we should give him a 3-year deal like we did Chuba, or a 4-year deal like we did Miles Sanders. Just give him a 1-2-year deal and continue to do that, right? After, if you give him another 1-year deal, 10 mil per or 10 million, for example, and he does again, give him a contract, right? But he deserves the money. But it's just because the nature of the running back position, it's about the years. I probably wouldn't go past 2 years in terms of paying Rico if we decided to do that. Thing is, Josh Allen brings them legs, so he isn't one-dimensional. True. And think about it is too, is like Bryce was, Bryce can run the ball. It's just, I don't understand why he's so hesitant to run the ball. He's so good at running the ball. Like, if he wants to run, he can run. He's so good at it. But that's the problem, is that he just, every game it's kind of like he's not doing it. You know what I'm saying? If he has the opportunity, if that makes sense. Bryce QBR was 13.3. That's terrible. That's terrible. Yo, my bad on my light. Turn it off. But yeah, man, it was bad. I actually might be able to plug it in real quick for you guys. Let me see. My bad on that, by the way. We back. All right, cool. We back. All right. But yeah, Bryce QBR being 13, yeah, it's terrible. That's terrible. It's terrible, terrible, terrible. I mean, he played like it today. I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked, but yeah. We should have traded for Shador. I mean, so far, Shador cannot take the starting job over Dylan Gabriel, who's not good. So I'm a little iffy on that one. Bastido said Nick is the future. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even lying to y'all. I think Princely, in terms of pass rush, definitely has higher ceiling. It's tricky. We have two great edge rushers on our, board right now. In terms of like Nick and Princely, we have two great pass, edge rushers. One is really good at stopping the run. One has very good tools, in the pass rush game. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of how they continue to develop. Already shown to be the steal of the draft. We're talking about Nick scoring? Yeah. Definitely. I mean, I was surprised. I thought, honestly, when we Princely was always on my board the entire draft process. He was a top 5 edge rusher for me in the draft. And I was surprised bro was in the draft, like in the 3rd round still. So I'm glad we got both. Like I was honestly drafting Nick in the 2nd round. I was kind of like iffy on it because I thought he was very raw as a, pass rusher. I mean, for good reason. But when we got Princely in the 3rd round, I was like, bro, you just got 2 steals in the draft at edge. So I was not mad at all. Luke said, knowing Bryce next week jump 40 on the. Yeah, this team is a little bit stupid. Being a Panthers fan is like, it's a week-to-week thing. We're going to beat the Packers, the best team in the NFC, lose to the worst NFC team, and then next week come out and beat the Falcons by like 20 points. It's going to happen. And I'm going to come out here next week and be like, bro, and then watch us like, it's just so stupid. There's no reason why I should have lost this game today. None. There's just no reason why. Bro, Bryce was pissed during the presser. I seen the presser. Before I hopped on here, obviously, I hopped on kind of late, but I seen the presser, bro. I was dying. He was definitely mad. Never seen him like that before in my life. That's for sure. That is for sure. That's a great question. Why he doesn't run it more? He's great at it. Yeah, he's very good at it. And he has lanes too. He's just hesitant. And then like today, there was a passing play that he ran, had a lane. It was like a 2nd down. He ran, had a running lane, slows down and throws it in the dirt. You could have got 5 yards on a run, but you decided to just like throw the ball downfield. It's so stupid. It's just so stupid. Maybe unpopular opinion, but we run Rico the ground and let him walk and thank his services. I think we're still good at running back with Chuba and ETN and Brooks coming back to let him rest a bit. I do think Jonathan Brooks is the most talented back in this room just because he's so young. So, yeah, I mean, I want to be upset if we let him walk. I mean, it's the running back position. But if we do bring him back, I want him that 1-year, 2-year deal, not something too crazy, if that makes sense. We focus on free agency or draft for quarterback. Yeah, I mean, listen, that money could be spent somewhere else. The running back position is so good right now for this team. Where you have Chuba on a contract, letting him walk would not be a bad idea. Because, again, we could use that extra money. We're kind of in cap. Like we have a lot of, we're good in cap right now. So using that extra, cap space to use that in free agency, the draft and everything. So I agree with that, right? I do. If people want to let him walk, I understand. The running back position, you can find a good running back in every single draft, free agency, whatever. I mean, it just happens, right? It just happens that way. So I'm not saying pay him, but I'm saying if we do it, I don't want it to be a 3-year contract because at the end of the day, Rico might not be good in 2 years. It's just the nature of the running back position. Still, though, the Falcons knew Jonathan Taylor was going to run, and he put up 245 on the Falcons run D. True. That is true. I can't argue that one. But Jonathan Taylor is like arguably the best player in the NFL right now. Like there's an argument he's the best player next to Jackson Smith and Jigba, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase in terms of just pure players. I mean, he's up there. I mean, he's definitely the best running back, but he's up there in terms of just player, just most valuable. He's up there. So, and he's not Rico, in my opinion. So what are we going to do if we win against the Falcons or even 49ers because it's crazy? Yeah. I mean, I'm going to probably be more mad if we beat the Falcons and Niners because it's like you could have beat the Saints. But if we do lose, it's kind of like, I mean, there you go. I mean, now we can kind of tank and do our thing. But I love how Jonathan Brooks runs the ball, great vision, he's explosive. Not only that too, but in the receiving game, he's so good as well. But yes, in terms of running the ball, he has the size. He's just very like explosive at his size at running back. He's just very good. I think he's the most talented player, and he's young. If he can stay healthy, he's going to be the best back in this room for sure, in my opinion, next season. I don't want to let Bryce walk. Listen, I was at the game today. Sure, the interception was bad, but he's actually made some really nice throws today. Being at the game, you are able to see a lot more. Like, Luke, like, let me know, was there a lot of, open passing, right, plays? Were there a lot of play calls down the field? Let us know, because obviously being at the game, you can see everything. So I would actually like to know, were there a lot of, just nowhere to throw the ball today? Were there a lot of passing, calls that were vertical? Let us know in that. I would love to know that, obviously. Is it Nico draft eligible? Are you talking about, who are you talking about? Nico, like the one from UCLA, the quarterback? Nico, maybe I'm tripping. But make sure you clarify with me on that one. Great thing for us, Bucks and the Falcons lost, but yeah, true. It just sucks even more though, because if we won today, we would be like literally a game behind. Think about that. If we won today, we control our own destiny, because you get to the Bucks game, and I think you're potentially in that first Bucks game. You are potentially winning that game is first seed in the South. Like, that's how much it just sucks even more. It just sucks. Yeah. Caleb is really improving. I hate to say it. Yeah, Caleb is. He is. Granted, he has a very nice team around him. But again, I mean, he is improving. Second-year quarterback. I'm not surprised by him. He was talented coming in. I just hate him as a person. But yes. Matthew, what's up? He said, bro, there's no way you're defending Bryce. Are you talking about me defending Bryce? I'm not defending Bryce Young. I mean, if you want to rewind the stream, I'm not defending Bryce. But yeah, I'm not defending Bryce at all. QB. Yeah, Nico is tough. He's talented player, obviously. I don't know personally if I would draft him. He'd probably be second, third round player, maybe. But I don't know. Me personally, I don't know. Just my opinion. We'll see when we get there. I would personally rather continue to build this team in the draft to add more talent. Nico, to me, isn't that good. To take in the first round, but I'm saying, like, I would rather use a second, third round pick. Is probably where he might go because of the tools that he does have. But we'll see. I'll just rather, take this year to just continue to build. If you want to go different quarterback, get that bridge quarterback, and then next year's draft. If you have to trade up and get Marcel Reed, personally. What's up? He said, Bryce got to go. Hey, I don't blame anybody at this point who says that. Don't do it. I don't blame Nico. Yeah. No, Luke. Yeah, I don't think he's defending him. I think he's just because he's at the game. It is easier to kind of see everything at the game. That's why I cannot wait to watch the All 22 tomorrow, right? Which, guess what? I'm not going to be coming on here tomorrow when I watch film, or I'm not going to come on here and change my mind. Bryce did not play good today, no matter what. The film's not going to change my mind. But I want to see, like, was there more to it, if that makes sense. I think that's just what he kind of saying. Is he was at the game. It's easier to see more when you're at the game because you're seeing the entire field. You can kind of see what is happening at every single, just everywhere, right? When you're watching on TV, it's kind of you can't see anything. Facts. Caleb has allowed him an offensive-minded coach who's great at play calling. Yep. I mean, Ben Johnson's the best play caller in the NFL. I mean, I think we can all agree with that. He is the best play caller in the NFL. So, yeah. He has that in his favor too. But again, to me, at the end of the day, when you're the quarterback and you're making plays, you're making plays. When you're making plays, you're making plays. And that's what he's been able to do. I mean, he's making plays. Micah said to get a quarterback in free agency than just drafting. Yeah. This season, yes. I think I would rather that than drafting one. It's either we take Bryce for one more year and let him be the bridge, or you go out there and, get a random guy who's in free agency who's going to be able to come in and at least be competent for you for a full season, and then you do something in next year's draft, which I think could be on the table. If there was even a little thing I could defend about Bryce, then I would, but even us, the illusion fans, can't anymore. Yeah, I agree. I actually don't want to let Bryce walk. I was at the game today. Short, the interception was really bad, but he actually made some really nice throws today. That last part I can't defend. I can't defend that last part about him making good throws. He really did not got called back. I mean, to DeMario in the first quarter was right to him. Just didn't read the coverage. I mean, good thing I called back, but I mean, he did not really make good throws. He said, "What's Joe Flacco doing next season?" Hey, I mean, for a bridge quarterback, we're not mind it. For one season, being old and everything, he's making, still out there doing his thing. You see Garrett Nussmeier had high hopes for him. I never liked Nussmeier. me personally just never did. I never did personally, but I understand why people did have high hopes for him, but I never did personally. Especially talking about the draft situation. Obviously in college, sure, but draft situations, no, I never thought it was going to be, solid draft quarterback in my personal opinion. Also, let's not act like Andy would have done much better. No one's saying that. Andy Dalton obviously proved last week, or not last week, but against the Bills, that sucks too. But this game from Bryce, excuses, he played bad. He played bad. Like we can honestly get Shador Sanders for low since the Browns got him in 5th round, and he's played with Jimmy Horn. He knows T-Mac and Fitz Dave system pretty good. Yeah. Or, low because they already have Dylan Gabriel, and the Browns don't like him, so probably get him low. Other teams have been here. You hate to admit you have made a mistake with the number one pick, but here we are. Yeah. Happens. Andy wouldn't do much better, but you don't want your old backup to play at the same level as your third-year starter. Yeah, good point. My thing with Nico is off the field issues with the family being agents and the inconsistency in decision making. But if he falls to second or third, take him. He's 6'5" and he has great tools. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I just depends. It depends. I feel like if we take him though, we would have to go bridge quarterback. Like that's when I would like a Joe Flacco to kind of teach him a little bit and let that happen, then give him the reins in 2027. If you decide to go that route, Bryce Young cannot be teaching that guy because he'd be cooked simply. And A. Dalton even can't do it because he's just not at the stage in his career where he can go out there and make plays throughout a whole season. So, what a stream with y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and not making a move. For thoughts on Dan or team's move. I don't mind it, actually. I don't, because we're not in a situation right now right. Obviously, we could have made a decent, trade here and there, but I don't mind it. I mean, we were rolling. We were 4-1 in the last 5 games today. I mean, you just let this team run and play it out and see if we can make a run in next season. that's when you make that splash move. I don't mind it, actually, right? I don't. Obviously, making a move could have been there, but like you could have made a move at some point to a one position, but I don't know. I don't mind it really. I don't. I don't. As much as people probably do mind it, I personally don't mind it as much as other people might. Just my personal opinion. I say we can trade for Sanders and have the low cap hit for quarterback. Yeah, that's true too. That's true too, because will be on a second year next season. So it will be a low cap hit. You're taking that low risk really. And again, you can view him as a bridge quarterback, or you say maybe he can develop into the franchise. And then if he doesn't, you got a great draft next season with Marcel Reed in it. So it's kind of like a low risk, high reward type thing if he does develop, and it's low risk because you're not really spending a lot of money on him, right? Because he is a rookie or he is on that rookie contract. Cool fan, appreciate you taking time to chat with us and keep up the great work, bro. Appreciate you, man. I'm gonna be on Twitter all week. Be dropping videos for you guys. I'm gonna have a film come out for sure. Here coming soon. This week I'm gonna flood y'all with content. I'm gonna have film come down with you. Sorry, film come out for you guys. My kind of rookies, midseason rookie rankings, kind of where we stand, who my favorite players in the draft. All that's coming out this week for sure. And then we'll get ready for the Falcons on Sunday. And then we'll be hopefully go live on Friday. We'll see. But I'm gonna load y'all up with content this week for sure, man. So just stay tuned for all that. We gonna head out. Appreciate all you guys for tuning in. Obviously, these streams are always fun, man. We're gonna be back next Sunday after a win. So we get that W next Sunday against the Falcons, man. We need it. I don't want to hear Falcons fans. I just don't want to do it. I mean, I just don't want to do it. But yeah, we're gonna head out. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in next